What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Littleroot Laddering. This week we're playing this super sweet Golduck rain team that I've been working on with Jeff Hoogland. So the changes from when we streamed it on his channel. We had originally had Persian, Alolan Persian instead of Grimmsnarl. Persian felt really bad and clunky in the games that we played with it and the games that I played offline by myself. So instead we replaced it with Grimmsnarl here. Gives us taunt, Prankster Taunt for another out to Trick Room. Dual Screens lets Golduck, Zapdos, everything basically live a whole lot longer. Spirit Break is here for the special attack drops on specifically like Galarian Moltres, Spectrier if it comes up. Just super offensive Pokemon. Rotom Heat is another one that's super popular right now. Nihilego. Probably don't want to bring it against Nihilego, but you know, we'll figure it out when it happens. So that's the team, everyone. Make sure you pick up that rental code if you're interested in playing the team. That is going to be available for quite a while. I can't imagine I'm going to take that down anytime soon. So let's just jump on into the ladder and see how high we can climb. So we are pretty close to Ultra Ball. I lied. We're a little farther away from Ultra Ball. But this team felt fantastic when I got to play it with Jeff. And so I'm interested in seeing just how well we can actually do with it. So if you are catching this on Tuesday when this goes live, I'm going to be live tomorrow morning at 10 Central with Jeff on his channel, twitch.tv/Jeff Hoogland. So we got a bunch of different things lined up, and this is one of the teams we're going to be playing. So if you wanted to check it out, you can always catch it there. So first up, we have Trick Room plus Sand. This looks like a really interesting like Series 5 team. And I think it is correct to have like Rillaboom, Golduck up front with Politoed and Scizor in the back. I think this is fine. Let's just change weather if we need to. Potentially can get the terrain in our favor, so then we can taunt the Hatterene. Yeah, this seems fine. Let's see what our opponent does. Notably, Klefki could be dual screens. That's typically its role in the format. It's dual screens. And then you have Follow Me plus Trick Room from the Hatterene if they want to do that, which I'm assuming that's going to be their lead. And then have like Conkeldurr and Tyranitar in the back. So let's see what they do and see just how quickly we can pick up some KOs here. So we are going to see Indeedee Hat up front here. And I think this is ultimately fine. Unfortunately, they're going to get the terrain, though. Indeedee is slower than Rillaboom, so their terrain's going to go up, meaning we don't get to Grassy Glide here. But they are going to get Trick Room. So what do we do about that? I think the correct thing to do... So I want to keep Golduck slow, actually. So what if we switch Scizor in over Rillaboom? And I don't think I want to Dynamax Golduck here. I think instead I just want to go for a Scald into the Indeedee. So my plan is to potentially Dynamax this Scizor here. And notably, we can switch Rillaboom in the following turn and be able to get terrain set back up, and then we just have priority. priority with both Bullet Punch and Grassy Glide here. So this is really bad if Hatterene has Mystical Fire, which it very well could. But I think I'm going to go for a Max Flutterby into the Indeedee. And I'm going to switch into Rillaboom here. Max Flutterby is going to lower the special attack on the Hatterene for the following turn. Pending that we can actually hit, because G-Max Smite is absolutely obnoxious. It's honestly probably my least favorite of all of the G-Max moves that they've added to this game. Just adding that extra little bit of variance into the game with Confusion Luck is really annoying. No Dynamax from the Hatterene. Because it has to be slower than Scizor. Like, I'm not saying Scizor is fast, but Hatterene's base speed is astronomically slow. So it's staying in here, so I'm interested in what they're actually going for. Oh, we're just gonna get the double expanding force. Oh, no. Yeah, that's actually fine. Like, we switched terrain over. So we're gonna be able to pick up the KO on the Indeedee before it can get its expanding force off. And now the Hatterene's at -1 for the subsequent turn. Yeah, this is actually a pretty fine position, to be 100% honest. I know in testing, this is one matchup that Jeff has had difficulties with, he said, is just knowing how to counter Trick Room. And honestly, just playing a slower game seems fine here. Dynamaxing Scizor isn't something I typically would do, but here it just seems fine. So the question is, do I want to go for another Flutterby, or do I want to go for the Steel Spike? And I think, seeing how there's a Conkeldurr on the other side, I want to go for a Steel Spike. And go for a Grassy Glide into the Hatterene. We get punished here if they go for a Max Guard, but I think that's fine. I have a feeling this Conkeldurr is going to be Flame Orb and is going to protect this turn. If it's not Flame Orb, probably not great. They're Dynamaxing the Conk, actually. I wonder if it's just going to Max Guard this turn. That would be ideal for us, but unlikely, I think. Yeah, we do see the Protect from the Hat. That's not great, but it could have been worse. Because at least now we get our Steel Spike off. Granted, it's going to be after the Conk punches us, but I think that's fine. Scizor takes out like a champ. So they're going to go +1 attack, but we're also going to go +1 defense. So this is just trading resources here, and I think that's completely fine. Question is how much does this do? Not a ton, all things considered, but a Steel Spike plus Grassy Glide should be able to pick up the KO there next turn. A little bit of coverage all around. What's even better is we haven't revealed that we are Choice Band on Scizor yet. And I think that's completely fine, to be 100% honest with you. It is, in fact, Flame Orb on the Conk, so they're going to be able to pressure the Scizor pretty effectively, being at +1 with a Guts Burn. But we're also at +1 defense, and we're being hit neutrally, so I'm sure it's fine. I think I just want to double into Hatterene this turn. They're going to withdraw. What are they going into? They're going to go into Tyranitar. Well, that should be taken out here. Can't imagine this is going to like taking a Grassy Glide plus Steel Spike. Yeah. Sure, your policy, but that really does not matter. Question is how much does this do? A decent chunk, all things considered. So we're going to be at +2. And I think our primary goal is going to be removing the Laddering so they can't get another Trick Room up. And then Golduck can come in the late game here and pick up the KO on the Conch. Of course, all this chip here is mitigated from the grassy terrain. Notably, Scizor doesn't get chipped. Thank you, Steel typing. This is one instance I really wish we had Protect on Scizor, but being Choice Band is just too good. It is absolutely insane here. I have a feeling Laddering is going to protect this turn. So the question is do I sacrifice Scizor and go into Golduck or Politoed? I could go into Politoed. I could also go into Golduck, but I don't know how well Golduck is going to take that. I think it's actually correct to sack here and just go for the Bullet Punch. And we'll Wood Hammer into the Conch. That's going to do quite a bit of damage, hopefully. We're going to see the Protect from the Laddering. I expected that. And I'm completely fine with losing Scizor this turn. Because they're going for a Hailstorm into Rillaboom. Well, that I'm also fine with, because now I get to bring in Golduck for free, and it's the fastest thing on the field. So they have Ice Punch, presumably Close Combat. They're probably going to try to set up another Trick Room here, but I can't imagine that this is going to take this Bullet Punch well. So yeah, we'll go into Golduck here. And I'm just going to click Psychic into the Conch. So Bullet Punch, and we'll click Psychic. I wonder if the Conch has Protect. It hasn't shown it to us yet, but there's definitely a chance that it does. I have a feeling this is just going to be a Mach Punch into Golduck, and I should have protected. Pick up the KO on the Laddering. That's great. That is 100% fine. No Mach Punch. Interesting. Golduck, you're great, dude. I don't care what they say about you. Sorry, Golduck. I lied. So now we're in a really awkward position. Because they can continue to heal with Drain Punch. I need to see... I don't know how much this Bullet Punch is going to do. If I can bring out Politoed, I can click Protect with it this turn. Because I think they're more likely to attack into the Politoed than they are the Scizor this turn. So I can go for a Bullet Punch, get some really good chip, and then next turn go for the Helping Hand Bullet Punch, and that hopefully is enough to pick up a KO. Never mind, the Bullet Punch is enough on its own. Scizor, you're insane, man. You're absolutely insane. I'm interested in what the Klefki does on our opponent's team. Yep, Policy Tyranitar, Not surprised by anything there. Brick Break and Stone Edge. Interesting. Yeah, I'm surprised to see 4 attacks plus Flame Orb, but I mean, it seems fine. It is Light Clay, Screens, Thunderwave. Yeah, that pretty standard Klefki. Not surprised by anything going on here. Safety Goggles, Rillaboom. That's great. And again, just 4 attacks. Do they have Protect on anything? They had Protect on the Tyranitar and the Hatterene, which we saw. Yeah, the turn that the user and the target become friends, and the target loses its will to fight. Huh. I can't say I've ever seen Play Nice Indeedee. That is very interesting. Yeah, Indeedee there was definitely slower than our Rillaboom, being the minus speed nature was definitely going to guarantee that they're slower, so their terrain was going to be the one that gets set. So let's see, what do we got here? What do we have? Ludicolo. Okay, this is really sweet. Ludicolo, Eliki, Buzzwole, which I absolutely love. They have electric terrain spam with Coco and Eliki, and then they have Brutal Swing, Metagross weakness policy shenanigans with Tornadus. So I'm really interested in what we're doing with Ludicolo and Buzzwole. That being said, I think I like Grimmsnarl here. Depending on what they lead, we can taunt the Tornadus. We have screens for everything else, so I think that's fine. And I think I like Zapdos up front. Zapdos can hit everything except for the electric type super effectively. And then from there, I don't think I want to bring the Rain Duo against potentially electric terrain spam. So I think we'll just bring Scizor and Rillaboom in the back. This seems fine. Buzzwole melts to Zapdos. Notably, not having Rain means that Zapdos' moves are going to be pretty inaccurate. But hopefully that's not a big deal since we have potentially more turns to live thanks to Grimmsnarl screens. We're going to see Tornadus Eliki up front. So presumably this is going to be Tailwind plus screens. So I'm tempted to taunt the Eliki. I think Zapdos lines up pretty well against everything, so I think I just want to Dynamax here. Let's go for a Light Screen, actually. And let's go for a Max Flare into the Eliki. One of these is holding Sash, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be... the Tornadus. I'm really interested in what our opponent has going on. We do see the Tailwind. There's no reason to taunt the Tornadus because they're going to be faster than us anyway, with compared to Grimmsnarl, and because we both have Prankster, both of our attacks get +1 priority. I mean, that still does a good chunk. But, like, I don't really mind playing this slower game, at least on my end. And now we can just go for a... What is Tornadus even... What else can it even do? Should I worry about taunting this thing, or should I just go for the Spirit Break into Eliki? I think that's the play. And then we can Lightning into the Tornadus. There might be consideration to Airstream here instead, but even at plus, like, when we get back to neutral, because they have Tailwind up, they're still going to outspeed us, so I don't think that's the play. And they could switch out here. But to what? Yeah, Eerie Impulse is really annoying. But not the end of the world. Grimmsnarl avoids the Air Slash, that's really good for us. Still just does infinite damage. Granted, Tornadus is not known for its bulk. And then Grimmsnarl is going to pick up the KO on the Eliki here. Good deal, good deal. Interested in seeing how bulky that Eliki is, because it took that max flare like it was no big deal. Granted, like, it is from Zapdos, so it's not stab, but I'm pretty sure this is max special attack Zapdos. So I have a feeling they definitely have a non-zero amount of bulk in that. And they are going to bring out the Metagross. That's completely fine. I'm not going to Heat Wave that slot. Instead, I'm just going to Airstream into the Tornadus, pick up our speed, get our speed back to neutral. But Zapdos is at -2, so there's really no need to Heat Wave into the Metagross because we're not picking up the KO. Notably, the Tornadus is faster than everything else on the field, so they can Brutal Swing here and still trigger Policy. But we're going to get Reflect up before the Metagross gets to move. So this should still be fine, maybe. Like, it is a +2 Metagross, and that does hit fairly hard, so I'm interested in seeing how hard through Reflect here. Rain Dance? Okay. Okay. Well, now they don't get to trigger their Policy. What? Why Rain Dance there? If you're just gonna change the weather with hail. Ah, yes, that crit for 1 damage. Very, very important crit there. I believe this is their last turn of Tailwind. They might have one more. I can't remember. Question is, what do they have in the back? It's like, we're ahead here on Mons. We're up 4-2, but they still have 2 turns of Dynamax. We have a -2 special attack Zapdos right now. They have Ludicolo. I think it is appropriate for Zapdos to switch out, presumably into Scizor. And then Ludicolo is going to get hit with a Spirit Break here. I want to go into Scizor. Because I need Zapdos to be able to 1v1 this Metagross in the end game. We could just see a Steel Spike into the Grimmsnarl this turn. Life Orb, Ludicolo. Yeah, this is going to be a Steel Spike into the Grimmsnarl. Please tank it. Nope, not close. So this turn dictates what we do. Ludicolo is the fastest thing, followed by Metagross, followed by by Scizor. And does their Tailwind end? It does. What does that mean for us? It means I can go into Rillaboom and click Protect. And go for a dual Wing Beat into the... Do I want a dual Wing Beat or do I want a U-turn off of the Ludicolo? Because I don't want to switch in Zapdos yet. So I think it's correct to go into Rillaboom. And I can pick up the KO on the Ludicolo this turn. I think it is correct to protect here. Does it stall at their last turn in Dynamax? And then do I want a U-turn or do I want a dual Wing Beat? Scizor is presumably faster than Metagross. So this is going to be 105 compared to 60 times potentially 2. So this is more damage potentially. But U-turn also gets us into Zapdos, presumably safely. We'll go for the U-turn. I'm sure that's enough. I'm sure this is enough to pick up the KO. They're going to protect. Okay. Well, I can't anticipate them picking up the KO here. We're just gonna see the Hailstorm, presumably into Rillaboom. It is. Taking that like a champ. So we're locked into U-turn, but I think that's fine. Because I want to get rid of this Ludicolo before I bring in Zapdos again. Just because it does have Ice Beam, and that's really scary. Metagross is faster than Steelix. That's good to note. I don't think it actually matters here, but it is good to note. I think I just want to go for maximum damage into the Metagross. And I'm going to U-turn off the Ludicolo. We haven't seen an item on Metagross, but because they have Tornadus, it's very safe to assume that it's weakness policy. So if I can avoid triggering that policy, we'd be in a very good position. Muddy Water, no stat drops, no accuracy drops on the Scizor. Why do I talk? I mean, that's a decent chunk, all things considered. Leave my Scizor alone. It hasn't done anything wrong to you. We do get the U-turn off. And it is enough for the KO. Okay. Well, that's good. Because now we get a safe switch into Zapdos. And we get to confirm that Zapdos is faster than Metagross. I can't imagine it's not. Yep, we are. We are, in fact, the fastest thing on the field. So we can go for Heat Wave. If Heat Wave's not enough to pick up a KO, we're in a pretty bad position. But between Woodhammer and Heat Wave, and then we have Scizor in the back that's still faster, we can reasonably clean this game up. And then Woodhammer should be in Woodhammer range. Okay, cool. So two games in, and we haven't really got to show off Golduck tonight, but you know, we're also 2 games on the scoreboard, so I can handle that too. The best part of this is we get to show that it's not a super linear team of we have to do exactly one thing to be able to win. I'm really glad we didn't bring Rain because they have the Ludicolo. Like, Giga Drain would have wrecked us hard. Yeah, between Swift Swim, Ludicolo, and the electric duo here, we could have been in a pretty bad position. Weakness policy was on the Buzzwole? So that means that you were Assault Vest and I still did that much damage? Oh, that's interesting. They didn't have Brutal Swing because they don't need it. But if they're triggering policy with Air Slash, that's really gonna hurt. But Rain Dance really makes sense on Tornadus, especially since they have the Ludicolo. That's a really interesting pair that I hadn't actually thought about. I like that a lot. I really like that opponent's team. And that's Ultra Ball. We are an Ultra Ball tier gamer. Look at that. And all we had to do was break even on the stat board. So let's see. One more that'll be plenty. We can get one more in tonight. And then, like I said, I'm going to be live Wednesday morning with Jeff playing this team and a couple others. And then from there, we also have Ladderings later this week where I'm going to be playing the same team as well. Those are going to be on Thursday and Saturday. So make sure if you're not subscribed to go ahead and ring that bell. Hit that sub button, all that good stuff. Make sure you get notifications when new stuff goes live. We have stuff going up, I believe, every day of the week. And then tonight, Tuesday night, the night that this comes out, Carl and I are going to be streaming our Soul Lock on our Twitch channels. Our Heart Gold Soul Lock. So make sure you check that out as well. So it might finally be time for Golduck to shine. We can switch away the rain from Tyranitar with Golduck. Well, with Politoed. I think I like Politoed Grimmsnarl up front. With... like, Rillaboom lines up really well against everything but Charizard here. Zapdos obviously lines up better against Charizard, but like super poorly against Excadrill Tyranitar. Scizor gets eaten alive by Charizard, but it actually lines up pretty well against like everything else. We have Bullet Punch so we can outspeed the Dracovish so they can't get the boost from Vicious Rend. So I think that's fine. And then we'll have Toad as the last one. Depending on how they lead, we may be able to switch into Weather. So let's see what our opponent here does. We're going to see Whimsicott Dracovish. Presumably that means that we're going to get a very fast Dracovish in our face. But I think that's fine. Like, in all actuality, I think that's fine. Because we can go for a Hailstorm into the Whimsicott. And we can set up a Reflect. I don't want to taunt the Whimsicott because they're faster than us, so I would rather just KO it. And then the following turn, the Dracovish is going to outspeed us. Because it does have... it does have Tailwind behind it, but I think that's fine. Like, if they're Vicious Rending into Golduck, we take that like a champ, especially behind Reflect. Yep. You have Tailwind. I have Reflect. have fun doing with this the rest of the game. We do see the Rend into Grimmsnarl, but we moved first, and we have screens up, so we take that just fine. Now the Hailstorm into Whimsicott, presumably picking up the KO. No Sash. That's good to note. That means Excadrill probably has the Sash. Or Gengar. Gengar could have it. I believe this Vish is going to outspeed us even if I switch into Rain. So presumably it's okay to just stay in here, go for the Mindstorm into the Gengar, and then set up a Light Screen as well. And then if they want to Rend into Grimmsnarl to take it out, I'm completely fine with that. Probably just Dynamaxing. No, maybe. Maybe that's Vish? I know you can get Vish in more than just Pokeballs now that it's in Raid Dens. That's gonna be Gengar. That's interesting. I don't think I care about that. Because it's still as frail as can be. And I'm gonna be behind Light Screen now. So if this is like max overgrowth, that's kind of fine. It's gonna be Lightning, but still, we're behind Reflect. Or, Light Screen, but still. Lightning, is that going to be off a Thunderbolt? Take me out. Thank you. How much does this Mindstorm do? That's the real question. Deletes it, basically. Might as well have. So we might be able to live another Lightning. What am I talking about? I can just go into Scizor and Bullet Punch it. And just Bullet Punch into the Scizor, into the Gengar to pick up the KO. And I can Hailstorm into the Vish. If Gengar max guards, I'm completely fine with that. And Vish is most likely... Oh, I'm an idiot. I set up Psychic Terrain. But Golduck lives. That's fine. Hopefully they didn't double into Golduck this turn. Nope. Going into Scizor, who doesn't really take that too well, all things considered. But Vish also doesn't take that too well, so I'm kind of fine with that. But more importantly, we got rid of Psychic Terrain, so we can freely Bullet Punch the Gengar down now. So we go into Mr. Toad. Actually, Gengar might be within... No, it's not in hail range yet. But I can protect the Toad and pick up the KO here on the Gengar. Presumably, they have Tyranitar as their last, which if that's the case is going to be not so great for us. Yep, pick up the KO on the Gengar. That's super awkward, because now Scizor can only use Struggle. And that's really awkward. What's even more awkward is Politoed has to 1v2 here. Please don't be Tyranitar. If it's not Tyranitar, I think we have a chance. We have a chance. I'm going to ignore this Dracovish. That might be incorrect. It might be correct to actually Icy Wind this turn. So then Toad can outspeed in the end game here. Toad, why are you so bulky? Toad, why are you not so bulky? I really need this to pick up the KO. But I don't think it's going to be enough. Oh. The problem is we can't live another... We can't live. That's really unfortunate. Why does Vicious Rend have to hit like a truck? Man, that was a really close game. But I definitely didn't play that completely optimally. It might have been correct to, instead of worrying about the Gengar, we could Bullet Punch into the... Dracovish that turn to pick up the KO. But then at the same time, like, I completely missed the fact that I had Psychic Terrain up from the Golduck. So what we could have done instead is... How could we have played that last few turns? We could have... Protected? No, because if we protect the Golduck, they don't have Electric Terrain go up, and then we can't Bullet Punch them. So if we Max Guard, that's incorrect. Had we Geysered into the Dracovish, we would not be with... we would outspeed it because their Tailwind peters out. Their Tailwind would peter out, and then we would be faster than them, so we could get off Ice Beams that way, and we wouldn't die to hail damage. So maybe that's the correct play, is instead of going for the Ice Beam or the Max Hailstorm there, we go for a Max Geyser into the Dracovish, which is double resisted. So actually what the real play there was, is we could have gone for the Bullet Punch into Dracovish, or no, because I don't think that's correct. Yeah, we can Bullet Punch into Dracovish, because then we're locked into Bullet Punch, but they're resetting the terrain. So so we Bullet Punch the Dracovish, our move fails because of Psychic Terrain. They Max Lightning us, we Max Geyser them, we live, we don't get KO'd to hail, we then Bullet Punch the Gengar, and we can then Ice Beam down the Dracovish in the same turn. Because Golduck would outspeed Dracovish in rain. I obviously would need to see how fast the Dracovish is to make sure that that would actually work, because they would have... Yeah, this actually will tell us. They're 139, so that's doubled is 278. So we are actually 2 points faster than them in rain. Because I am at 140 on Golduck. I believe. I'm actually curious. It's 176. But I don't believe that's correct. Or 276. Oh, thank you, damage calculator. So we need 276. So then at level 50, that would put us at 140. So yeah, we would outspeed the Dracovish there. So that's actually the line then of how we can win that game, is instead of going for the Hailstorm, we go for the Geyser, and then we outspeed the Dracovish. I'm actually kind of mad that I didn't think about that beforehand. Because had we actually just Geysered earlier, we would just outspeed the Dracovish, period. So super interesting. The Gengar would still outspeed us, but I think I'm fine with that. So that is going to be it for me today, everyone. If you are new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications when new stuff goes live, leave a like, and I want you all to leave a comment. I want you all to tell me why Golduck is the best Pokemon in Rain, in general. Why is Golduck so great? I know it didn't have the best track record today, but, you know, we both know that it's the best thing going on here, so thank you all very much. Have a fantastic day. We'll be back Thursday with some more Littleroot Laddering. Have a good one. Peace.